This video is a little different from what I normally do. Most of my content is purely educational. I explain how insurance works and let you make your own decisions. Today, I'm going to review a specific product with a specific company. If you're shopping for term life insurance or you already have a term policy and you haven't reviewed it in a while, this is worth your time. My name is Jim Eddington. I run an independent insurance agency called Western Pacific Insurance. The product I want to walk you through is the Premier Term Series from Midland National Life Insurance Company. If you already know how term life works, skip ahead. If not, here's the short version. Term life insurance is pure life insurance. You choose a coverage amount, say $1 million, and a term length. If you die during that term, your beneficiaries receive the death benefit, generally income tax-free. If you outlive the term, the policy expires. There's no cash value, there's no investment component. You're buying a death benefit for a fixed period at a guaranteed level premium. Term life is designed to cover specific financial obligations, replacing your income for your family, paying off a mortgage, covering outstanding debts like student loans or credit cards, funding your children's education, or easing the transfer of a small business. It's affordable because it's temporary and straightforward. I'm a believer in term life insurance. I think for most families, it's the right product, but not all term policies are built the same, and that's what this video is about. Midland National has been in business since 1906. They're part of Salmon's Financial Group. They're employee-owned, not publicly traded, not chasing quarterly earnings. They're focused on long-term commitments to policyholders. From a financial strength standpoint, they carry A+ ratings from AM Best, S&P Global Ratings, and Fitch. A+ from AM Best is the second highest rating out of 15 categories. A+ from S&P is the 5th highest out of 22. A+ from Fitch is the 5th highest out of 19. When you're buying a life insurance policy, the carrier's ability to pay the claim is everything. Midland National's ratings reflect that. Midland National's Premier Term Series offers 10, 15, 20, and 30-year level term options. The premium is guaranteed not to change during the term you select. After the level premium period, coverage can continue on an annual renewable basis, but the premiums will increase. The 30-year term is still available. That's worth noting because a number of carriers have dropped their 30-year option. If you're in your 30s with young kids and you want coverage that lasts until they're financially independent, a 30-year term is hard to beat, and it's getting harder to find. Here's where Midland National's Premier Term separates itself from most term products on the market. Chronic diseases are responsible for 7 out of 10 deaths in the US. That's CDC data. Heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease. The reality is that during the term of your policy, you are statistically far more likely to be diagnosed with a serious chronic or critical illness than you are to die. Most basic term policies only pay a death benefit. If you're diagnosed with cancer but you survive, your policy does nothing for you. If you have a heart attack and can't work, your term policy sits there. It only activates when you die. Midland National's Premier Term includes accelerated death benefit endorsements for chronic illness, critical illness, and terminal illness at no additional premium. These are included on eligible policies at issue. You don't pay extra for them. Here's how they work. For terminal illness, if you're diagnosed with a terminal condition, generally meaning a life expectancy of 24 months or less depending on the state, you can accelerate a portion of the death benefit while you're still alive. Those funds can be used for anything: medical expenses, family support, getting your affairs in order. You don't have to wait to die to access the benefit. For critical illness, a qualifying event, heart attack, stroke, major organ transplant, end-stage renal failure, invasive cancer, among others, can trigger an accelerated benefit. Again, this is money from your death benefit that you can access while you're alive and dealing with the condition. For chronic illness, if you're certified as chronically ill, meaning you cannot perform at least 2 of 6 activities of daily living, bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, transferring, and continence without assistance, or you require substantial supervision due to a severe cognitive impairment, you can accelerate a portion of the death benefit. On the term product, the chronic illness benefit is underwritten at the time of claim based on the severity of the condition. But there is one important thing to understand. When you accelerate a portion of the death benefit, the face amount is reduced by the amount accelerated and a discount is applied. So the actual amount received will be less than the face amount accelerated. There's also an administration fee at the time of election. This is not free money on top of the death benefit. It's early access to a portion of it. But the point stands. Most term policies only pay when you die. This one can pay while you're living if something serious happens. That is a meaningful difference. And also a side note, the critical illness benefit on premier term is not available in California. Midland National offers non-fluid accelerated underwriting on the premier term. That means in many cases, no blood draw, no medical exam. If you're age 50 or under, you can qualify for up to $2 million in coverage without fluids. Roughly 62% of applicants in that age range get approved at standard to preferred rates with no exam. If you're between 51 and 60, you can qualify for up to $1 million without fluids, with approximately 27% getting approved that way. The exam requirement is one of the biggest reasons people put off buying life insurance. They know they need it, they just don't want to deal with the process. This removes that barrier for a significant number of applicants. Midland National's premier term offers a children's term life insurance rider that lets you insure your child's life on the same policy. There's no additional policy fee, you just pay additional premium for the rider. It's like getting two policies with one premium. The child can later convert that coverage into a permanent policy without evidence of insurability. That's a big deal if your child develops a health condition later in life. They'll already have guaranteed access to permanent coverage. For families, and especially for single parents, this is a valuable addition. Midland National's premier term is convertible to most of their currently available permanent life insurance products without evidence of insurability. That matters because if your health changes during the term, you can convert to a permanent policy without going through underwriting again. The conversion windows vary by term length. On a 10-year term, you can convert within the first 7 years or before age 70. On a 15-year term, within the first 12 years or age 70. On a 20-year term, within the first 15 years or age 70. On a 30-year term, within the first 20 years or age 70. The conversion period is never less than 5 years regardless of issue age. For an additional cost, Midland National's premier term offers a waiver of term premium for disability rider. If you become totally disabled, the entire premium is waived. The rider is available for issue ages 18 to 59 and ends when you reach age 65. If you're the primary earner and a disability would make it hard to keep paying premiums, this rider is worth considering. If you're shopping for term life insurance and you want more than just a death benefit, Midland National's premier term delivers. The living benefits at no additional premium, the accelerated underwriting, the children's rider, and the conversion option make it a strong package. If you already have a term policy that doesn't include living benefits, and many older policies don't, it's worth comparing what you have against what premier term offers. In many cases, you can get the same or better coverage with living benefits included at a comparable or lower premium. And if you've been putting off buying life insurance because you didn't want to deal with the medical exam, the accelerated underwriting may remove that excuse. We are able to offer Midland National in nearly every state and U.S. territory. If you want to see what a premier term policy looks like for your age and coverage amount, click the link below. I'll connect you with an agent who can run quotes, walk you through the living benefits, and help you figure out whether this is the right fit. Thanks for watching.